From the judiciarycommittee.gov's website, yes, quiet amnesty, how the Biden-Harris administration uses the nation's immigration courts to advance an open borders agenda. Let me further that by what Breitbart reported on this very document. You can go find it yourself. A bombshell report from the House Judiciary Committee, exclusively reviewed by Breitbart News, details President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris's coordination with the United Nations to fast-track migrants into the United States using American taxpayer dollars. The report exposes how the Biden-Harris administration has worked alongside the UN, funneling tens of millions of American taxpayer dollars to the international organization to bring migrants to American communities. Since Biden and Harris took office, nearly 8 million migrants have entered the U.S. In particular, the report accuses Biden and Harris of teaming up with open border bureaucrats at the United Nations. What do you know? And for 4 years, I've been saying that's the reason why American Nurses Association, National Nurses United, American Med, all of them tied to the International Nurse Council, all the bureaucrats, and they all supported open borders. So, teaming up with open border bureaucrats at the United Nations to allow migrants to bypass the southern border when trying to get into the U.S. Under President Biden and Vice President Harris in June 2023, the State Department announced its Safe Mobility Initiative, which allows aliens to sidestep the southwest border and, according to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, avoid the risks associated with onward movement. The report states, in other words, this new Biden-Harris program fast-tracks aliens into the United States out of sight of the American people and without the politically damaging optics at the border. The initiative's Safe Mobility Offices, SMO, allows aliens outside the U.S. to consult with foreign national employees from the UNHCR and the International Organization for Migration, who then provide the aliens with several options to resettle in the United States, including through family reunification, parole, labor pathways, and additional expansions of the Biden-Harris administration's illegal abuse of humanitarian parole. The U.S. taxpayer-funded SMOs, and they're located in 13 cities across Guatemala, Costa Rica, Colombia, and Ecuador. Since 2023, the Committee on the Judiciary and its Subcommittee on Immigration, Integrity, Security, and Enforcement have conducted rigorous oversight of the Biden-Harris border crisis, including the administration's abuses of immigration law. This oversight has uncovered the Biden-Harris administration's open border alliance with the United Nations bureaucrats to ensure that additional aliens are fast-tracked into the United States on the U.S. taxpayers' dime. The report estimates that more than 18,000 aliens from Central and South America have departed for resettlement in the United States through the Safe Mobility Initiative, with nearly 67,000 totaled aliens referred to the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program for potential resettlement in the U.S., and at least 7,000 aliens identified by IOM as potentially eligible to enter the U.S. through other means. When migrants do not qualify for resettlement through the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program, the UN counsels them on alternative routes to the U.S. Close to $70 million in American taxpayer dollars have funded safe mobility offices, while the IOM has spent nearly $15 million to fund the initiative. Of our money. Why is the UN given any of our money? This interim staff report highlights how the Biden-Harris administration has directed U.S. taxpayer money to the open border United Nations to allow foreign national bureaucrats to expedite more alien arrivals into the U.S. The bombshell report is significant as Harris, while on the campaign trail, has sought to downplay her role in the Biden administration's immigration policy that is centered on welcoming millions of migrants to American communities, regardless of the impact on the American citizen. Small towns like Lackland Village, Ohio, Logansport, Indiana, and Charleroi, Pennsylvania, have been inundated with waves of migrants that have driven up home prices, rents, and exacerbated the city budget shortfalls as a result of the Biden-Harris policy. So, that's where we're at. The Biden-Harris has sold out to the United Nations. You know what? We need to be out of the United Nations, out of the WHO, so that none of these associations of medicine and nursing and any of these people that cared more about foreigners coming in illegally to this country and taking jobs away from Americans and driving everything down in this country. All of you people are a disgrace to health care because you are part of those bureaucrats. You all supported open borders. Total disgrace.